Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're taking a close look at something a lot of you might be considering,
Oh.
a renewed Apple iPhone 14. Specifically, we've pulled together a whole bunch of info on the 128 GB midnight unlocked version you can find listed on Amazon Renewed.
That's right. And we've got quite the range of sources. The product page itself naturally details on the protection plans they offer,
Right.
info on the whole Amazon Renewed program, what that even means, and then tons of customer reviews, the good, the bad,
The really bad sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. And even some videos people have uploaded.
Okay, so our mission basically is to wade through all of that stuff and pull out the crucial bits.
Exactly. We want to help you figure out what renewed actually means here and ultimately if buying this kind of phone makes sense for you.
Perfect. So let's jump right in. First things first.
Yeah.
What is Amazon Renewed?
Okay, so think of it like a specific marketplace section on Amazon just for pre-owned stuff.
But not just any old secondhand gear.
No. The key thing is these products have been inspected, tested, and if they needed it, refurbished so they're fully functional. It's about giving electronics a second life, basically.
Okay, so it's meant to be more reliable than just buying used from, say, a random person online.
That's the idea. Amazon pushes a few key promises. Quality you can afford, that's a big one, the cost saving,
Sure.
and products you can trust. They say items are professionally inspected and tested by suppliers who meet Amazon standards.
Okay, but important point. These aren't Apple certified, right?
Correct. That's a really key distinction. It's an Amazon qualified supplier doing the checks, not Apple themselves.
Got it. And I think you mentioned there's an environmental aspect too.
Yeah, they do promote that. By choosing Renewed, you're helping extend the life of the product, which, means less electronic waste. They call it a purchase with an impact.
Right, the sustainability angle. Makes sense. Now, if you're buying something pre-owned, guarantees are pretty important. What does Amazon offer?
Well, they lean on their existing stuff. The standard Amazon return policy applies, and crucially, the A to Z guarantee also covers renewed items. So that gives you a fair bit of backup.
Okay, that's good. So say someone pulls the trigger on this iPhone 14. What actually arrives in the box?
You should expect accessories that are equivalent to new ones. They might not be the original Apple ones.
Okay.
But Amazon says they'll be compatible and work just fine. And the phone itself will come either in the original box, if they have it, or just a new plain cardboard box.
And the phone's condition. I imagine that can vary.
Oh, definitely. They have different cosmetic grades. There's premium, excellent, good, or acceptable.
Okay.
They all promise the phone's software is reset to factory settings. So inside, it should be like new, but the outside, that depends on the grade you pick.
Right. So it might save more money, but have a few more scuffs with acceptable versus excellent.
Exactly. That's the trade-off.
Okay, that helps understand the general Renewed program. Let's zoom in on this specific iPhone 14 listing. What are the core details?
All right, so it's the iPhone 14, 128 gigs of storage, midnight color, and critically listed as unlocked.
Meaning it should work on pretty much any major carrier.
Yeah, they mentioned compatibility with GSM and CDMA networks, so AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, the big ones. But, and this is important, it's always smart to double check with your specific carrier, just in case.
Good advice. Definitely don't want any nasty surprises there. What doesn't it come with?
Standard stuff for renewed phones, really. No headphones, no physical SIM card.
And the iPhone 14 in the US is mostly eSIM anyway, right?
Mostly, yeah. So you probably wouldn't need a physical SIM slot, depending on the exact model they send. But you do get a charging cable, a generic one, but it should be MFI certified, meaning Apple's okay.
Okay. Now the big question for any used phone. Battery health. What's the promise there?
Amazon guarantees it's been tested and will have at least 80% of its original capacity. Minimum 80%.
80%.
Yeah.
That could mean 81% or it could mean 99%, I guess.
Precisely. It gives you a baseline, some reassurance, but it's not guaranteeing amazing battery life. It's definitely a bit of a gamble compared to new.
Yeah, if battery is your absolute top priority, this might be a point of hesitation. You might need to factor in a potential battery replacement cost later on.
Absolutely. That savings calculation needs to account for potential future costs.
Okay. And the price itself. You mentioned different conditions earlier.
Yeah, when we looked, the seller had 3 options. Refurbished Excellent was $354. Refurbished good was $327.99, and refurbished acceptable was down at $309.
And they listed an original price, too.
They did, $389. So you can see the savings potential, especially for the acceptable grade.
Definitely noticeable savings.
Okay.
What if you get it, open the box, and it's not what you hope for? What's the return situation?
Amazon offers free returns. For renewed stuff specifically, you get 90 days to send it back for a full refund or replacement.
90 days is pretty decent.
It is, but the condition is key. It needs to be returned in the condition you received it. They do warn you might get less or even nothing back if it's clearly been used hard, damaged, or is just, different from what they sent.
Fair enough. Okay, 90 days is a good window. But what about longer-term protection? Are there plans you can buy?
Yes, they highlight two main options on the page. First up is a 2-year protection plan. That one costs $129.99 up front.
Okay, what does that cover?
Coverage starts right from day one, purchase date. It includes accidental damage drops, spills, cracked screens from normal use, and also covers malfunctions that happen after any original manufacturer warranty would have expired.
So it covers accidents and potential failures later on. How do you make a claim?
It's through a Syrian. You can file online or call them. They say most claims get approved pretty quickly, like in minutes.
And if they can't fix it?
Then you either get an Amazon gift card for what you originally paid, or they'll send a replacement phone. But there are service fees involved.
The cat.
Yeah. It's $29 for repair, $49 for a replacement. And you have to buy this plan either with the phone or within 30 days. Doesn't cover anything that was wrong before you bought it, obviously.
Right. Pre-existing conditions are out. Okay, that's the 2-year plan. What's the other option?
The other one is a monthly mobile accident protection plan. That's $4.99 a month.
Okay, pay as you go. Similar coverage.
Pretty much, yeah. Starts on purchase date, covers the same kind of accidents and malfunctions. A bonus here is it includes 24/7 tech help setup, connectivity issues, troubleshooting, that kind of thing.
Oh, that could be handy for some folks. How does the billing and claiming work there?
You get billed monthly, up to 36 months max. You can cancel anytime, though, so it's flexible. If you cancel, coverage stops, obviously.
That makes sense.
You can add this plan within 30 days of buying the phone, too. Claims process is similar online or phone via Azurian, usually quick approval. If they can't repair, it's a replacement or an Amazon e-gift card.
And the service fees for the monthly one?
Slightly different. $29 for a repair, or if they just reimburse you, $39 for some specific repairs, and $79 for a full replacement.
Okay, so a bit higher for replacement on the monthly plan. Good to have those options, though upfront, longer term, or flexible monthly.
Definitely caters to different preferences and budgets.
All right, let's switch gears now and dig into what actual buyers are saying. This listing has, wow, over 4,700 ratings. Average is 4.0 stars. What jumps out from the reviews?
Well, the overall vibe is actually pretty positive, surprisingly so, maybe for renewed tech. But there are definitely recurring themes, both good and bad.
Okay, like what? Functionality.
Yeah, functionality seems generally good. Lots of people saying the phone works great, runs beautifully, no major performance issues.
That's a good start. What about how the phone looks? The physical condition?
This is another area where many are happy. People often say it looks and feels basically brand new. Screens are usually excellent, few cosmetic issues. Well, it's not perfect for everyone. Some did mention finding minor dings or scrapes, maybe on the sides or corners. Seems like excellent condition mostly delivers, but tiny flaws are still possible.
So manage expectations even on the higher grades. Got it.
Okay.
And value for money. People feel they got a good deal.
Overwhelmingly, yes. That's a huge plus point in the reviews. People feel it's a smart way to save cash compared to buying new. And setting it up, getting it working on their network.
Generally seems pretty smooth. Most found it easy to set up, activate, connect to their carrier without big problems.
Okay, those are the positives. Let's get into the specifics people mentioned. Scratches came up with condition. What was the range of experience there?
It was definitely mixed. Some were thrilled, no scratches at all.
Nice.
But others, especially if they bought maybe good or acceptable, did report minor scratches or scuffs. So, yeah, the grade matters, but maybe there's a bit of luck involved too.
And battery life, always a hot topic.
Ah, yes. This is probably where the experiences diverge the most.
Oh, how so? You had some people getting phones with amazing battery health, like 93%, 98%, even 100% reported sometimes, which is fantastic for renewed.
Wow, yeah.
But then you had the flip side, people reporting the battery drained really fast, or they checked the health and it was lower, like 86%. One person even said it degraded noticeably quite quickly after they got it.
Oof. So the 80% minimum is definitely just that a minimum. It's kind of a lottery beyond
It
that.
really seems that way. Very inconsistent feedback on battery.
Okay, that's a big flag for potential buyers.
Okay.
Now, another potential issue that came up was the unlocked status. What do people say about that?
Yeah, this was concerning. Several reviewers specifically mentioned getting phones that were not unlocked despite the listing.
Seriously, like locked to a specific carrier.
Either locked right out of the box, or apparently some became locked after a few months of use.
Whoa, that's a major problem. If you're buying unlocked, you expect it to stay unlocked.
Exactly. Huge frustration potential there. Definitely something to test immediately and maybe even keep an eye on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about the accessories? Did the generic cable cause any issues?
Most reviews didn't dwell on accessories, which probably means they were fine for most people. One person noted getting the charger and SIM ejector pins.
Which might not even be needed for the US eSIM version.
Right. So accessories seem okay, but the focus is really on the phone itself.
So, summing up the reviews,
Mhm.
mostly positive on condition and value, generally works well,
Mm-hmm.
but big potential question marks over battery consistency and, crucially, whether the phone is truly and permanently unlocked.
That nails it. Lots of happy customers, especially for the price. But those negative points, battery and unlock status, are significant risks you need to weigh up.
Did the user videos show anything different?
They mostly backed up the written reviews, actually. Many showed phones looking pristine, like new.
Okay.
But a couple did sort of demonstrate the battery drain issue, showing the percentage ticking down faster than you'd ideally want during normal use.
Right. Okay, so bringing it all together, if someone's on the fence about buying this renewed iPhone 14, what are the absolute key takeaways, the things they really need to consider?
Okay, first, cosmetic condition. Know the grades, expect potential minor flaws, even in excellent. Don't expect absolute perfection.
Got it. Realistic expectations.
Second, battery health is variable. That 80% minimum is just a floor. Be prepared, it might not be amazing, and it could degrade faster than a new phone's battery. Factor that into your long-term cost.
Check. Big one.
Third, and maybe most critical, that unlocked status. Verify it immediately with your carrier. And be aware some people had issues later on. This is a real potential headache.
Definitely.
Fourth, those protection plans might look more appealing given the uncertainties around battery and potential malfunctions. It's extra cost, but could be peace of mind.
Good point. Makes them seem less like an upsell and more like actual insurance here.
Kinda, yeah. And finally, use that 90-day return window. Test everything thoroughly as soon as you get it, battery, unlock status, camera, speakers, everything. If it's not right, send it back.
That window is your safety net. Don't hesitate to use it.
Exactly.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive on the renewed iPhone 14, it's clear you can save a good chunk of change, and yeah, many people get phones in great shape that work perfectly.
The value proposition is definitely there. It's tempting.
But, like we've hammered home, you got to go in with your eyes open. Be aware of the variability, cosmetics, battery, and especially that unlocked status.
Absolutely. Amazon Renewed offers some protection with the return policy and guarantee, which helps.
It mitigates the risk somewhat.
Yeah, that doesn't eliminate it.
So ultimately, it comes down to you, the listener, weighing those savings against those uncertainties. How much risk are you comfortable with for that lower price?
Right. Is a potential battery issue or a minor scratch worth saving, say, $100 or more? Are you prepared to deal with the hassle if the phone turns out to be locked? Those are the personal calculations you need to make.
Exactly. Hopefully, with everything we've unpacked today, you feel much better equipped to make that call for yourself, whether diving into the renewed iPhone world is the right move for you.
And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other Renewed gadgets out there have similar stories, similar pros and cons?
Definitely food for thought. Until our next deep dive.